Time for more Metallica. You guys pointed out to me that Disposable Heroes would be the perfect song to listen to after I posted what I did in my community here on YouTube for Memorial Day. And I'm going to check it out with you because it's been a minute since I've listened to Metallica. Are you ready? I don't even know what to think right now. Oh snap, I'm gonna pull up the lyrics. Okay, stop. This is incredible. I'm going to rewind a bit. This composition is wild. That switch in the signatures, the shredding, the drums, the clean, in sync precision of how they play together. Oh my gosh, there's so much happening. I can't even keep up. But the lyrics, even that poetic, symbolic expression of back to the front, right? The front of the warfare of the line, right? The infantry back to the front. This it paints this picture of this cyclical thing. Like we're going through people like they're just nothing, made of clay, someone's only son. Well, they served the country well. I mean, to me, what I'm hearing is criticism of the war machine and of the puppets. The album is called Master of Puppets, right? The few that control the many, the polarization, the division, and war. Someone's son that's being led to the slaughter, back to the front, implying to me this repetition. We'd keep doing this again and again and again, empty shell of a person, but then, oh, well, they served us well. For what? This is crazy good.
Back to the front, you will do what I say. When I say back to the front, you will die. When I say you must die, back to the front. You coward, you servant, you blind man. Barking a machine gun fire does nothing to me now. Sounding of the clock that ticks, get used to it somehow. More a man must fight to wear, glory seeker trends. Bodies fill the fields I see, the slaughter never ends. Soldier boy, made of clay, now an empty shell. 21, only son. coward, you servant, you blind man.
That switch again. We're only halfway through this song, y'all. Oh my word. Had my heart racing. Yeah. That, the shredding, like I said, the way they play together, so precise. That guitar solo earlier. Good Lord, the switches. I'm dizzy. Oh my gosh. And even the album cover is so poignant. Those hands pulling the strings that are all attached to the graveyard crosses, the soldiers' graves. Oh my gosh. I feel like the lyrics are very self explanatory. And it's amazing to see how we can use music and art and how legendary bands like Metallica themselves are talking about things that need to be addressed and calling out the system and using their platform and their art even at the time, but sadly still as relevant as ever to talk about things that are happening. Bodies filling the fields, soldier boy made of clay, right? On one hand, that's all we're made of, right? From dust to dust. But at the same time, it's so sad to think we were made of clay. You would hope we were born with a purpose, right? We want to be able to make our story. But if you feel like you were just born to die, if you feel like that's all you're here to do because the puppet master is pulling the strings and all that's left is an empty shell, and that double entendre on the empty shell after guns are fired, but also these people, empty shells, those who come back from combat, who are now struggling with PTSD, who feel like a shell of themselves, a ghost of themselves, but also those who die in battle, who remain, who are just empty shells, used, made of clay, but empty shells that were just used to play the game. Someone's only son, 21, bred to kill, not to care, right? Told to kill, back to the front. And this cyclical pattern, both in the musical composition, but also in the lyrics, which just so sadly shows how it just keeps happening again and again, back to the front, back to the front, back to the front, just feeding the machine more sons, more soldiers to die for what? Why am I dying? Kill, have no fear, lie, live off lying. Hell is here. Straightforward and simple lyrics, and yet so powerful and so poignant and true. And I'm glad that they released this at the time. I'm glad that they stood their ground and questioned the system and hopefully raised some awareness to get people to think. That's where music can be powerful, where sometimes it feels so disheartening to go, how can we change this? This keeps happening. But I'm grateful for music like this that would hopefully make us stop and think and go, yeah, what the heck? Like, I don't want to feed the machine. We need to stand up against being played by the puppet masters. Yeah, that composition was wild. I'm gonna have to process this for a minute. What do you think about this song? What does it make you feel? I know the lyrics, like I said, to me were fairly self-explanatory. I feel like it's criticizing all of the war and the war machine and the waste of it all, the uselessness of it, which is such a pain. But how does it make you feel to hear this? What are your thoughts on the topic? Subscribe so we can experience more music from around the world, and I'll see you on the next ride.